In today's episode, let's skip the political noise and talk about something that actually affects your dinner plate, your health, and the very spine of Indian governance. Let's talk about and let's celebrate a man called Tukaram Mundhe. If you haven't been following the news out of Maharashtra, let me catch you up. In May 2026, a 2005 batch IAS officer took over as the state's Food and Drug Administration Commissioner. It was his 25th transfer in 21 years of service. Let that sink in. More than one transfer every single year. Usually, when the system shunts an officer that many times, it is definitely an attempt to break that person's spirit, tire them out, or tuck them away where they can't make trouble or they can't expose some plain truths. But the system completely miscalculated Tukaram Mundhe. Instead of sitting quietly in his new cabin, Mundhe lit a fire. Within less than 3 months, he initiated a relentless scorched earth crackdown on food adulteration, synthetic milk rackets, fake paneer, and the unhygienic kitchen, something I had even been raising in my zero-hour interventions in the parliament. Iconic eateries, high-end elite clubs, and massive food manufacturers in Mumbai and Pune were suddenly facing surprise raids and immediate suspensions. When the Bombay High Court asked him why his team was only targeting private canteens, what did Mundhe do? He didn't blink. The very next morning, his officers walked straight into the Bombay High Court's own canteen to inspect it. That is what you call uncompromised blind enforcement of the law and keeping people's health supreme. And you know what the most beautiful fallout of this crackdown has been? It has completely shaken the collective conscience of this nation. Social media is flooded with citizens from Delhi, Bengaluru, and Kolkata asking one simple question: where is our Tukaram Mundhe? People are waking up to the fact that we don't have to just accept slow poisoning via adulterated food as part of Indian life. We need to be holding them accountable. And it's not just the public applauding. Behind closed doors, honest young bureaucrats across the country, the ones who entered the civil services dreaming of real change, are watching him. They're seeing an officer who refuses to be broken by the threat of a transfer. They want to emulate him. And we must emulate heroes. But here is the straight talk, the uncomfortable truth. The establishment doesn't want you to think about. Why must an IAS officer become a legendary folklore hero just for doing his job? Why do we treat a public servant enforcing basic safety rules as a biological miracle? It's because our system has become so comfortable with compromise that absolute integrity looks like a rebellion, looks like a shining star work or stellar work. Reports even surfaced in the State Assembly alleging that massive financial pools were being moved by the illegal lobbies just to get this one man transferred. Think about that. Lobbies are more terrified of one honest officer with a clipboard than an entire penal code. Prominent corporate leaders and citizens alike are screaming from the rooftops. Stop this business of punishment transfers. Protect the officers who protect public trust. And Tukaram Mundhe is doing just that, building public trust. Tukaram Mundhe has proven that one single unbending spine can alter the discipline of an entire state within days. If every state capital empowers just 3 officers like him and leaves them in peace to do their jobs, the face of Indian governance will transform overnight. The nation has woken up, and the message to the powers that be is loud and clear. We don't want compliance on paper. We want the Mundhe model of governance nationwide. And let that be the beacon of how governance is accountable to its citizenry.